Okay, on a hot streak now, another anniversary review. The Cult, Beyond Good and Evil. It's 20 years old. It was released 5th June 2001. I've never heard this album, which is not a surprise because I'm not a fan of The Cult. I like some of their hits, but I've never really gotten into their style. I mean, it was never I don't want to say heavy enough, but it was because I was just more into like straight metal, death metal, thrash in the early 90s and so on, when I first got into metal or classic heavy metal. So The Cult never really registered on my radar, but I knew their songs. She Sells Sanctuary is a great song, and there's a couple of other ones, and I always liked Ian Astbury's voice when I heard it. So I don't know why I never really tried any of The Cult's albums. But anyway, I saw that this album was coming up to its 20th anniversary, so it's a big milestone for this album. It's probably past their heyday a little bit, but the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So they'd gone to a different sound, I think, or I didn't know, because I haven't heard a single note from this. When this was released, I probably saw it, but it didn't register on my radar because I wouldn't really bother to try it. Maybe I might have heard a single, but once, and then I would have forgot all about it. So anyway, I listened again to this album. I thought, let me try this one. It's coming up to its 20th. I've got to give it a chance, right? See how it goes. So I listened to it. It's got how many tracks? 12 tracks in total. So I listened. So I'm going to give my thoughts as usual on each track, a rating out of each track, and then sum it all up. Okay, track 1 is called War, in brackets The Process. Obviously never heard. It's much heavier sounding than I was expecting. Sounds like sort of heavy groove rock, almost metal, pretty metal actually. Quite a cool shouty chorus. The noisy solo that followed after wasn't to my taste. It was a little bit scratchy, noisy, so it wasn't like very melodic, but it was okay. But the song itself was okay, but not fully to my taste. 6.5 out of 10. Track 2 is called The Saint. Slow build on this one. Interesting little groove on the chorus. Chorus is almost hummable on this one. I quite like the chorus on The Saint. And I gave this song a 7 out of 10. So pretty step up slightly on War. Track 3 is called Rise. This is like a very dirty rocking tune. Decent vocal lifts this song from being mundane. Ian Astbury sounds really quite good on this one. I gave this one a 7 out of 10. Track 4 is Take the Power. This is a bruising heavy tune. This is pretty much metal. I mean, this is like I don't know, in 2001 I think like new metal was king, or heavy metal was slowly coming back, and probably the Cult felt they needed to be more heavy and more metallic sounding. So this song is really heavy. I mean, it's not bad. I don't love it, but it's really quite heavy. So I gave it another 7 out of 10. Track 5 is called Breathe. This is a slow and heavy grinding tune. A very cool vocal on this one from Ian Astbury. This is probably my favourite track so far, so I scored this one an 8 out of 10. I really did quite enjoy Breathe. Track 6 is Nico. This was the best song so far, and the least heaviest, strangely. It's all about the really catchy vocal melody from Ian Astbury. It's sort of like a semi-ballad, if you like, but it is a really cool song. I really enjoyed Nico. So 8.5 out of 10. It's improved slightly. Track 7 is American Gothic. It's got a sort of quiet start to begin with, and then the chorus gets really heavy. Really cool chorus actually. this is an interesting tune again. Pretty much full metal, This one is, pretty full on heavy metal, and one of the best choruses on the album. So I really like American Gothic. 8 out of 10. Track 8 is Ashes and Ghosts. Upbeat grooving riff to start, a low vocal before the chorus kicks in, and it's sort of quite a relaxed vibe. It's okay. Ian Astbury's vocals again very cool. Not bad, but not a favourite of mine so far. So just a 6 out of 10 for Ashes and Ghosts. Track 9 is Shape the Sky. I couldn't get into this one. It's sort of upbeat, but the chorus is sort of shouty and not that memorable for me. This is quite a low point on the album, so I really didn't get a feel for Shape the Sky. 5.5 out of 10. Track 10 is Speed of Light. This one's got a swaggering heavy bass. Heavy riff comes crashing in after a while. The vocal melody is quite nice during the chorus. The song is really super heavy. Reminds me of like a heavier Soundgarden a little bit. So a touch of grunge maybe, but not too much. Not really a lot, but just get that slight Soundgarden vibe. The chorus is very cool on this one, so I really enjoy the chorus on Speed of Light. So I have to rate it at 8 out of 10. Track 11 is True Believers. This one's got a slow start before a nice heavy riff kicks in, and then it's got a really melodic chorus. Pretty cool, slow and melodic. I mean, anthemic even, if you like, from Ian Astbury. Really like this track, True Believers. It sort of hints at more melodies, which is more, more suits my type of taste for melodic rock. So 8.5 out of 10 for True Believers. The final track on the album is My Bridges Burn. This one's got a cool grooving riff at the start, typical Astbury vocal, chorus is pretty catchy. I quite like this final blowout track, the final chance to impress. So fairly impressed. 8 out of 10 for My Bridges Burn. So there you have it. Beyond Good and Evil. This was a good listen. I mean, I surprised myself. I didn't really want to try this one, but I thought, let me just try it, see how it goes, make a video for it, and just put it up, see how it goes. If I didn't like it, I'll be honest. But overall, I really liked it. It's much heavier sounding. It's probably their most metallic sounding album. Some of the melodies are not that immediate maybe on some of the songs, but there are some very cool melodic songs as well. Some parts are not my cup of tea, but plenty of parts are. So 3 or 4 really, really cool tunes. Rounding out my average, counting it all together, I come to an average of 7.33 out of 10, which is not bad. I was expecting to give this around a 6 or even less. So to round out at 7.33 is pretty good. So this album is 20. What do you cult fans think about this one out there? Yeah, it was not bad for me. It was a good listening experience. I'll definitely be listening to some of these songs again in the future. Okay, that was The Cult, Beyond Good and Evil.